So this is a very popular fragrance, Amber Oud by Haramain, but they have many different versions of it. I know there's one that reminded people of Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, and I've reviewed a couple of the variants on my channel. Here we have a brand new one, just came out in 2023, so not much talk has been happening online in regards to this new release. This one is called Amber Oud Private Edition. As you can tell, it has more of a black aesthetic to it. I think it looks really, really nice. This one also kind of reminds me of a really popular fragrance out there on the market. I'm looking forward to giving you my thoughts on this brand new release, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on Haramain's Amber Oud Private Edition, I'll tell you what it reminds me of, I'll tell you the note breakdown, I'll tell you how it evolves on my skin, all that good stuff. I do want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, special guests, all that good stuff, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. It would really, really mean a lot to me. So, of course, here is a brand that has released a lot of amazing fragrances. L'Aventure, which is their version of Creed's Aventus. I think there's also been L'Aventure Night, if I'm remembering correctly. I know one of them was a green Irish tweed clone or twist or inspiration, whatever you want to call it. Here we have Amber Oud Private Edition, and of course the aesthetic is really nice. The name is kind of cool too. This one is reminding people of some fragrances out there. Not a whole lot of people have had the opportunity to really reflect on this one, considering the fact that it is a brand new release, but I have played around with it for a bit, so I'm going to be giving you my thoughts. I'm going to make some connections in this video. Let's go ahead and start things off with a quick look at the presentation. Now, as far as the note breakdown is concerned, there are some green notes, there's pineapple, there's melon, there is a sweet notes accord in there. In the dry down, you have vanilla, amber, resins, you have a lot of things happening in this composition. And the first thing that I'm going to comment are the green notes and the melon. Right? So those things together, the green notes, the sweet notes, and the melon. So this one actually smells a lot like Erba Pura by Sospiro, or Erba Pura by Xerjoff. I know there's a couple different varieties on the market. So it does remind me of Erba Pura, and I just have to be honest with you about that. It does have that green, fruity vibe in there with a touch of sweetness. And if you've tried Erba Pura or any of the many, many number of inspirations on the market, whether it be Kirke by Tiziana Terenzi or Dahab by Kajal, and there's been a lot of interpretations of that DNA, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The difference with this one, though, is that it's much darker, much more resinous, balsamic, and ambery. So you look at the dry down, it has the resins, it has the amber, it has the vanilla. So it actually does go in a much darker, sweeter direction. And what it actually reminds me of is if you've tried fragrances like Wanted by Night by Azzaro, or if you've tried 1 Million Royal by Paco Rabanne, or a lot of these like really dark, vanillic, spicy, woodsy fragrances that have been coming out as of late. I know before it was just a huge tonka bean trend, right? Versace Eros being one of the biggest ones. Here though, it does go in that darker, spicy, ambery direction, and personally I love it. I think it's great, right? I really enjoy those fragrances. I have enjoyed them for a very long time now, although I think the market is starting to get saturated with those types of fragrances. So this one is kind of more of a hybrid. It's a hybrid of Erba Pura by Sospiro, but hybridizing it with fragrances like Wanted by Night by Azzaro, or just some fragrances that kind of have like that dark, spicy, vanillic thing happening in the dry down. So for me personally, I really do enjoy this DNA. I've always loved Erba Pura. I acquired a bottle of it several years ago, as a matter of fact, and I still wear it from time to time. I still wear my Dahab by Kajal. I still wear a lot of these other fragrances that remind me of that Erba Pura DNA. And what I can say about this fragrance is it's the same thing but darker. So if you're looking for that darker edge, it kind of also in a sense masculinizes it. I hope that makes sense, where it kind of has like that dark, spicy, woodsy, balsamic richness and that darker character and personality to it. So for me personally, I I really like that, right? I do enjoy, and I'm looking over my shoulder here, you know, even some of the Spice Bomb variations, like one of the Night Visions, I forget if it's the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum, but it kind of has like that darker, spicy vanilla thing happening in there. I know there's like way too many and they elude my memory sometimes, but that's exactly what I'm getting from here. Fruity, sweet, not so much pineapple, but I am getting the melon and I am getting the green notes. It's kind of herbal in the opening, and in the dry down, of course, it has the vanilla and the resins, and it's a really, really nice fragrance. A little bit out of season because Al Haramain fragrances perform really well. They last a long time. So for me personally, this is the type of fragrance that I like to wear in the colder weather. So I'm not going to be wearing a lot of this over the next few months, but right around September, October, I'll probably whip this out. I'll be wearing it pretty regularly and pretty consistently, especially considering the fact that I really do enjoy fragrances like Erba Pura, but if I'm looking for something with a bit of a darker and perhaps even a spicier and sweeter twist, I'm gonna go for this one. And wow, I'm really excited for you to try this one because I think there is going to be an increasing fan base for this one, especially if you're familiar with some of the other fragrances that I made connections to. I think this one is quite solid. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, not the most unique fragrance on the market, and that's because it does remind me of a few other really popular fragrances. At the end of the day though, this one kind of combines several aspects and elements of other fragrances that I really enjoy. So in that sense, it is unique, but certain accords in the fragrance will immediately remind you of other really popular fragrances, some niche, some designer. Longevity on this one, 10 plus hours. Projection was wonderful for the first 45 minutes to an hour of application. It radiated within an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 6, a skin scent right around hour 9 or 10. Versatility, I think this one does lean a little bit masculine. I think this is great for a formal occasion, great for the colder weather, great for anybody of any age, if I'm being honest with you. That touch of sweetness will cater to the personal taste of somebody who's a little bit younger, I think, but the darkness will cater to somebody who's a little bit older, a little bit more experienced in dealing with niche fragrances, I suppose. And the presentation is always very, very nice. I do enjoy it, and my final verdict on this fragrance is I think it's a great fragrance. I don't think it's the most unique fragrance on the market. I do see how it borrows elements from fragrances like Erba Pura by Sospiro and 1 Million Royal and, you know, Azzaro Wanted by Night and some of these darker, spicy vanilla fragrances, but the way that I kind of pieced everything together is really, really beautiful. And I think there's going to be a really nice avenue for people to explore that Erba Pura DNA, but heading in a darker, spicier, richer, more ambery direction. Check this out if you get a chance. Al Haramain products are always very reasonably priced, so I'm going to leave all of the appropriate links down below. Not affiliate links. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not making any commission. I did not get paid to do this video. I'm just trying to increase awareness for a lot of these brand new fragrances that are hitting the market, and I appreciate you for taking the time to watch today's video. It really, really means a lot to me. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. That was my review of Amber Oud Private Edition by Al Haramain. If you own or have tried any of the variants from this brand, any of the Amber Ouds, let me know. What's your favorite? Drop your comments down below. Always look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.